honor Miss Erishonda Jacobs. Let's give it up, y'all.
How everybody doing? God is so beautiful audience. And thank you all for coming. And welcome to our live show, Buzzworthy, where topics aren't just topics and our guests aren't just average guests. You see, and I am your mistress of ceremony, Erishonda Jacobs. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And tonight on this very stage, we will all witness history in the making. So, without further ado, let me welcome to the stage our first super host of tonight's show, James. Come on up to the stage, James. Come on up to the stage, James. Let's give him a huge round of applause. And last but not least, let's welcome to the stage our second super host of tonight's show, Reese. Come on up to the stage, Reese, and let's give her a huge round of applause for us, ladies. That's right. Hey.
Thank you. To our mistress of ceremony. She is so awesome. Wouldn't know what to do without you.
I want to thank everybody for coming out.
We can share.
Okay, there we go. So thank you to everybody for coming out tonight. This is like a really, really big thing for us to be doing. It's something that has been on my mind for the past few years. So imagine, wanting to do something and just not really knowing how to pull it together and how to get it off the ground. But things really just started taking off this year, and I met Reese at the top of this year. And probably after a day or so, I knew that we were destined to be working together. And a couple of weeks later, the idea came that we should do this show together because I didn't want to do it by myself. So it's really an exciting thing. Buzzworthy, for everybody that is wondering, it's really about being able to recognize the people who are here in our community that are doing positive things to motivate, encourage, inspire, and empower each other. We all have a lot of different things going on. We have stuff happening in our lives, and we have ups and downs. And our guest tonight was special to have on the show, especially the first show, because number one, he's so loved here in the city of Cleveland. But despite the things that he's had going on, he's done a lot to really uplift others and empower others. And we can just start with the fitness piece of it and how many people he trains and how many people's lives he has gotten together. You can look at his website, his Instagram, and I mean, he's all over it and he's doing a lot of stuff. He was in Columbus today. So he is working nonstop, and he's doing a lot to really help other people outside of helping himself. So that was the motivation in terms of having him on the show and having him as the first guest. We also will have a celebrity piece because I've been in entertainment media for about 20 years. So it's cool because we can bring that aspect of it in and let people meet some of their favorite artists and movie stars and that sort of thing. But we also are primarily focusing on people here in the city who have businesses or who just are doing things to really help the community and help other people. So I'll give it to you.
Yeah, so first of all, give yourself a hand for coming out tonight. So thank you. You all look amazing. Everyone looks beautiful. I appreciate you. I know James appreciates you. I have to first say to my co-host, he is amazing. I actually worked for James and then had this opportunity. I write for his magazine to co-host to this super special event. We getting ready to take Cleveland to another level. So I hope y'all ready. This is the first show. We tested it out. Y'all here to make history. So yes, y'all here are part of history. And so we getting ready to show Cleveland how special it is. People say the mistake on the lake, well, they got it wrong because we are great on the lake. Okay. Okay. So anyway, Buzzworthy is really all about just embracing all the wonderful things we do. Every last one of you guys have greatness in you, but there are some people that go hard for themselves, and so we want to recognize them. In the city of Cleveland, yes, we are going to have a lot of surprises because we lit like that, and James got a lot of connections, you know. So we will have some special guests tonight. Our guest is so awesome. Besides the fact that he smelled good and looked good, he made you look good physically, and you'll hear all about that. But what we love about him is how he gives back to the community. Right here in Cleveland, Ohio. Philly is known all over the world, actually. And so we are super excited for you guys to share this moment with us, for you to go through this journey with us. And I just want to say thank you, James, for giving me this opportunity to be here with you. Okay.
Thank you.
And we on the next level. They don't even know where they're getting ready to go, right? Okay. Buzzworthy is here. And I hope that you guys know that. Do y'all know that? Y'all feel that energy? Do y'all feel it? Y'all feel it? Okay, good. Okay, good. I'm good. James got to keep under control.
One of the things that is going to make Buzzworthy different than like the average show that you see or the average production that you see on YouTube or that sort of thing is that, number one, we will get the audience involved. So we want everybody to play a part. We want to cut a lot of the red tape that really has been centered around media and celebrities and different guests that come out. A lot of times you really, even though you're in their face, you still don't really have any access to that, to them. And we want to kind of cut that red tape and give you the opportunity to really interact with them, talk to them, and ask them questions. So we will involve the audience tonight. There's a lot going on here tonight. So there are a few surprises that we did not post in any of our 100 posts that we put on Instagram. There's some really big things that are going on tonight. So it's going to be an exciting time. I think everybody's going to be excited. I think Philly is really going to be excited. And the goal is for him to really feel the love. A lot of people recognize him and they talk about him and they have him on their shows and that sort of thing, but never has he gotten the full hour. He's never gotten a full hour or 2 hours or anything like that. So we kind of really want to make sure that we give him his flowers today. So
absolutely.
With that being said, we're going to kind of move forward and go ahead and bring in the guest of honor. A lot of you have seen him out there in the lobby already. So it's been really, really cool. But we're going to hand it off to our mistress of ceremonies, Erwashonda. Woo-hoo!
Bring them out. Bring them out. What's up?
You got everybody thinking that they're gonna get trained. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you for having me.
I think this is really, it's really big. It's epic. I know I said a whole lot out there because I'm long-winded, but I appreciate you coming on the show. Like, this is really, really big to put together like a dream, and or you have this dream and you know what you want to do and you struggle pulling it off, and then you get it together and you reach out to people, and a lot of times you don't necessarily get that support.
Yeah.
Or you get people that once they get to a certain level, they kind of look down to the little guys or that sort of thing. So the thing that I can say about you always is that you have always been forthcoming, like, let's do it.
Yeah.
How long have we known each other? Like 10 years, 11 years, 12 years?
Yeah, you did the interview.
Because I did the, because I did the film stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And I came out to the film festival.
2014.
I was catching the bus coming to everything. like,
2014.
like trying to support somebody here in the city and of course fulfill my dream and all of that stuff too. But all of that just to say, like, I'm really, really grateful. I think that this is really good tonight and it's going to give a lot of people the opportunity to really get to know you because there's so much that you've done in your years that people don't really know about. Like I've talked to a lot of people over the last 2 weeks and they're like, okay, yeah, the trainer. But I'm like, but you know, he's got some plays.
The trainer. The trainer.
And they like, plays? What is even? So you got a lot of people that don't know that piece of it. They don't know the football piece of it. They don't know the port from the porter to pro shop to like they don't know a lot of that stuff. A lot of people were learning even out there. So I really, first of all, would like to give Reese the opportunity to say a couple words and then we'll go into this unscripted interview.
Well, you're doing a great job.
Unscripted.
So basically, I actually learned a lot. I was one of those people that knew of you because I came to your facility because of one of your trainers, Ron, who's also actually the host, is my
That's where I
trainer.
know you
That's
from.
where you know me from.
Like she looked familiar.
I used to just be like, hey. But I definitely know so many people that you have inspired in Cleveland that you've transformed. I mean, literally have transformed. And what I think a lot of people miss is that they look at a trainer, and I can tell you this from experience, and think, oh, they're just working out. But you got, what I've noticed about you and your facility is that you train mental and, mental stability and mental strength. And then you also train from the inside out. And I know you always say break them down and build them up and things like that. But then I'm talking to James because I'll be honest, like me and a lot of my female friends, we admired you for the ads. And and so it was all about the ads for us. But I'm just keeping it real. No talking real. Y'all, just so you know, when you come to Buzzworthy, it's always going to be a moment of vibe. But honestly, just to be honest, but whatever, I believe in whatever your purpose is and whatever, your gift is, God gave you that gift. Because everybody cannot have those ads. And so I appreciate them, but I also was able to see past the ads, just being real.
Thank you.
But I also saw. But honestly, I got to see you as a person, and I saw like how you would work with people in the gym, and you like really, I can tell you care. You really wanted to see them fulfill it. And when anybody transforms from the inside out, and then you look in the mirror, you feel good, you change your life. And I'm a purpose coach. And so my life is about helping people fulfill their purpose. But I know that I can only do so much. And so what your job is just helping people transform. They look in that mirror, they feel good, they're a better person. So I just admire how many people you changed. And then James told me so much I knew you wrote plays and different things like that. But I would like to love to hear a little bit more about your journey. What is your purpose? Because you do so many things in the community.
Honestly, I believe that my purpose is pay it forward. I don't want to be the one to leave here with everything and not give someone or everyone something that they can get. So I don't want to take nothing with me. I don't want to take my knowledge. I don't want to take my influence. I don't want to take anything with me to the grave or to heaven. I want to leave here empty.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And that's that positive energy, that spirit that I get from you. That's awesome.
In terms of finding what your purpose was, like even taking it back to the fitness piece of it, and you starting at Bally's and it just being a job, what kept you there for as long as you were there until you got to the point where you said, okay, this is my life?
There, At Bally's, what happened was I had a conversation with the director at Bally's, right? And before he wanted to promote me to operation manager, I was going to, okay, so prior to that, I had a scholarship at Tiffin University for football, right? But of course, I wasn't able to keep my credits up. You know, my grades it wasn't trash, but it wasn't scholarship eligible.
So well, mine were trash. Kicked out of Akron twice. So mine were trash. So yeah.
So the counselors, told me that it's best for me to go back to my hometown and go to community college and get my credits up, and then, my scholarship is still on the table, after 2 semesters, and then I come back. So I was like, okay, cool. And at that time they called Tri-City. Tri-City. They called Tri-City. They called Tri-C Tri-High at the time because, it's like high school, right? You see everybody and you ain't really going to class. You just So I'm like, yeah, whatever. So, when I came back home, of course, my mother was like, you got to get a job. Now you're not in school like that no more. So you got to get a job, help out around here. So, as an 18-year-old, like, where you going to work at? I didn't want to believe that I was the food service type of guy. I didn't think I was a factory type of guy. So I'm like, sports, and what's related to sports is fitness. So I said, let me get a job at a gym. So, and then you were looking at papers and stuff. So Bally's was hiring for a porter. So I said, porter? That sounds nice. Let me go ahead and be a porter at the gym. I can do that.
So what did you think it was?
I don't know. I don't know. But a porter, it sounds like something. So I'm like, I'm a porter.
Were you disappointed when you found out what it was?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was like, that's not what I signed up for. But I needed a job, So I sat down in the interview and he told me, he said, the porter. I said, no. And he said, well, a porter is a janitor. You cleaning the toilets, mopping the floors, sweeping the floors, you doing all that. And I was like, janitor? You know what I'm saying? Because,
Okay, it's real.
I want to believe that that's not me either. You know what I mean? Like, I'm only walking in, the guy who I was shadowing around, I was shadowing as the job. He was like 60 years old, and again, you got to switch it, you got to walk around, push it, you got to push it. I was like, oh my God, I don't want to be like this.
But I guess that's kind of giving a flag to my mother who is sitting over here, because when I started at university hospitals, I guess I was a janitor, but I was environmental services. So, difference. Like I was mopping the floor and vacuuming and cleaning the toilets and sneaking Stouffer's dinner to the kids in Rainbow and all kind of stuff. But I think that like those kind of jobs, like, they really help you to become a little more humble.
Yes.
And
keeps you grounded.
You start to realize that it doesn't matter what job you're doing as long as you do the best at it. And that's something that my mother taught me. So, but yeah, go ahead.
So I had the conversation with the director when, because as a janitor, then the receptionist that called up one night, and he was like, "We need somebody to answer the phones. Can you do it?" Yes. Because I would find myself hiding, from people coming into the gym because you
didn't want them to see you.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I just felt like that was just not me.
I used to do that.
Yeah, like, hey, we gonna believe, I'm over there like, hey, anybody. First I didn't want to hear the questions. I thought you was in college. I thought you were going to play football. I thought you were doing this. So it's like, I see somebody I know, and I'm gone. You won't see me until they gone. So the receptionist called off. He asked, if I wanted to fill in, for the night. I said, heck yeah. So they told me what to say, and I was checking people in, taking payments, doing all that stuff like 2 days. And then she came back. So I'm back to being a James. And then at the time they was opening up a pro shop, and they asked me to be the pro shop attendee, you know, because I was always on time, I was always at work, I didn't call off, I didn't do any of that. So they like, well, at least we know we can depend on it. And I was catching the bus at the time. So I did the pro shop, and then I became a pro shop manager. And at that time, man, like it was really, really stressful because everything was quota based. You know, it was like we got to sell this much in as far as nutrition and supplements. We got to sell this much memberships. We got to sell, like everything was quota based. So that's the era that I grew up in. You know, where everything was around numbers and it was about service, customers, things like that. So after that, now that's when the conversation happened where he said, "Okay, we want to make you an operations manager." So now I'm 19 years old, right, and I'm still trying to get back down to Tiffin because I'm like, no, I'm not up here for all this. So he called me in the office and he said, "Hey, we want to make you an operations manager." And I said, "Okay." He was like, "The operations manager is the person who oversees the operation of the club. You know, you're making sure that the personal training is meeting their quotas. You're making sure that the money for the facility is there. You want to make sure that the quotas of the other facility. So it wasn't just that facility that I was over." So I'm like, I'm 19 years old. I'm like, what? And he was like, "Well, we can depend on you. You excel at the things you do. People like you. You're friendly and all that." So I was like, okay. So when do you want me to start? He said, "It's not that easy." He said, "You go to college, right?" He said, "In order to be in this position, it's salary, and you can be working 9 to 9. So I was like,
Wow. At 19.
at 19, 9 to 9. And I was like, "I won't be able to go to school." Like, he said, "Well, you got some thinking to do." He said, "The thing about it that I can tell you is that you're going to make 6 figures, right? But it's a demanding job." So he said, "Go home, talk to your mom, whatever, figure it out. And, you got till Friday. It's Tuesday. You got till Friday to give us an answer." Well, you tell a 19-year-old that he's going to make this much money.
You gonna say,
I'm not talking to nobody.
Right.
I stood up.
Oh, you tell them
I took a step to the door, I turned around, I said, "I'll take the job. I go to school another day." And that's what it was, And so it wasn't until I didn't fall in love with fitness until I became a personal trainer. And that was after being the operations manager, because I knew that side of it was more so where, the love of fitness is at. It's not in the business side of it, right? It's in the operation side. So I fell in love with fitness then, and I never looked back.
was there ever any regret in you taking that decision and not going back to school?
No, because I ended up doing what I wanted to do at one point in time. None of the roles or none of the successes or achievements that I've had came overnight. It came from me working. It wasn't a silver spoon given. It wasn't a handout given. It wasn't a handshake given. It was me actually really working towards that and getting it done. So, I was only going to college because I wanted to play in the NFL. I wasn't going to college because I wanted to get a degree. I wasn't going to college for none of that. I just knew that was the next step. Right? So if I got to go to college to go to the NFL, I'm going to college. Do I like school? Absolutely not. And it showed, what I'm saying? So they told, go back to Tri-C and I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do that. So I'm just in class like, man, I just want to play football. And they don't even have a football program at Tri-C. I just want to play football. So, there I was forced to be, it was more so, I had to be an academic. What's the word?
Scholar.
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to be a student.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be a student, Now, this is no knock to, it's a knock to public schools, right? Because they can handicap, and I'm not saying I was handicapped, but since I was liked by the teachers, it wasn't more so like they wasn't on me like, get this done. I was like, I need to get a C so I can play football. He was like, well, you're doing okay in the class. C. You know what I'm saying? So because that I would still show up, I would still do the work. I remember one time, man, that like my teachers to this day would say, like they would laugh because they remember how it was a test day and they would walk by the classroom and I would hold up a piece of paper and they had help. Because I was dead serious. Help. Because I don't know this. I don't want to know this. I just want to play football. So yeah. It was.
So do you think, and what you were saying, education is important, but it's also God puts things in your life to help you get to your purpose.
Absolutely.
That's what
Absolutely.
I believe.
Right.
And so had you gone to school, you wouldn't have been at Bally's. You wouldn't have found your passion. So do you believe that that was all part of your journey to get to where you are right now?
I swear I do not regret the path that I've taken. I don't regret none of the decisions that I've made. Everything literally has worked out. You know, whether I wanted to do it or not, it worked out. And I'm here because of all of that.
So where did the acting come from? Right. I'm just curious.
All right. Well, acting. Okay. So the acting, what happened was I written a book, right? And the book that I written received so much attention, right? That I got a message on Facebook from an ex-classmate of mine said, hey, you need to turn this to a stage play. I'm like, stage play? I don't know nothing about that. Like, to me, it's corny, you know, because you don't hear too many of stories of us being in theaters, you know. So I'm like, man, I was like, I never written a stage play. It's like, you never written a book either. And I'm like, got a point. I was like, well, I mean, let me just see, you know. So, and with me, in anything that I want to do, I think I've never thought, okay, let me start here and go here. I always say, I'm gonna go there. They're like, how you gonna do that? I don't know, but I'm going there. So when I said, okay, I'm gonna do a stage play, I thought Playhouse Square. I didn't know none of the particulars. I didn't know none of the doors I had to go through. I just said I wanted to do it at the Playhouse Square because why not? That's where they do plays at. Right. I didn't know that you could go to a high school or to a college and rent or local theaters and do it.
Yeah, but it's good that you set your sight high.
Yeah, I said Playhouse. So I made a phone call to the Playhouse. I was like, I'm interested in renting one of your theaters for a stage play. They said, okay, great. Have you ever did a stage play before? I said, no. They said, have you ever acted before? No. They said, have you ever worked on the set before? No. They said, so why do you want to do it here? And I said, well, why not? Tell me why I shouldn't do it there. I mean, you want to do stage plays, right? You're like, yes, but you have to have some type of credentials, you know? So he was like, well, we're going to have to just, you know, decline and, you know, wish you the best. So that kind of hurt because I was really never was ever told no. Right. You know, they said no. That's no. No.
We're going to cut it right there.
Okay.
Just for a second. We're going to make a quick transition here. One of the things that we really wanted to do with this show, like when we started putting it together, was we wanted to make sure that we feed our guests. That's number one. But we also wanted to make sure that we feed the audience. So I want to ask everybody, first of all, what did you guys think of the food? Like, were you satisfied?
Yes, I was.
I was waiting on you to say something. She told us all the stuff that she was going to be saying during the show. So the thing is, we really want to shout out, I'm going to call her Miss B of JoJo's Cafe. She is right back here in this pretty purple.
Stand up, JoJo's Cafe.
She made all of that food.
Please stand up.
And she brought the food, she brought the wine. Like, she really, really laid it out for us. And we wanted to make sure that we recognized her for the food. That being said, we want to talk a little bit about what we're doing for Philly. So when I reached out to him 2 months ago about the show, somewhere around in there, I said, okay, well, this is what we want to do with food, and this is the
This is
idea.
hilarious.
And I said, what's your favorite food, or what's your favorite meal? Because I'm thinking, okay, well, we'll get something catered, and it won't cost a whole lot of money. And he said, what did you say?
Steak.
He said, prime.
He said prime rib.
Mostly prime rib.
Yeah, he
You know,
said
like,
prime.
but then I'll take a steak.
He said prime rib.
And James called me like,
And then I was like, I know prime rib in my budget. So, for everybody that don't know, I drive Uber. If only you knew how many hours of Uber I drove to pay for all of the food for Philly. But I wanted to make it happen because, I mean, number one, I think that he deserves it, but
absolutely.
we just wanted to do something different. And not very often do you see a show where they feed the guests and they feed the audience. Huh? Hold on. We have not transitioned that far yet.
And I asked the audience participation.
So we are having prime rib tonight with the
Special
with the mashed potatoes. With the mashed potatoes, because he said he wanted mashed potatoes and green beans too, and I was like, nah, if we get the prime rib, I don't know if he gonna get all this. But prime rib. But he got it all. So I want to give a really, really big shout out to Antoine's Catering. I'm not sure. Oh, okay. I was saying I'm not sure if he's here at the theater yet.
Thank you.
But
Thank you.
when I tell you, I thought Antoine was going to cancel on me because I didn't even get all the money to him until earlier this week. It was serious, man. It was really, really serious. I had to buy some tires because I was driving.
And let me just explain, it wasn't just because Philly, but James said we have a super awesome team that we put together.
Absolutely.
Really
Absolutely.
organically.
Absolutely.
It was one of those told you to be on the team. We kind of asked and told, and they volunteered and helped out a lot. But so we wanted to also feed the staff. So everybody that worked on Buzzworthy got prime rib because of you. So they love you.
Thank you, Philly.
And that love is serious because I did an Eventbrite. They were gone in less than a week.
A week and a half, we sold out of 100 tickets.
I was like, where did all these tickets go? Like, people are asking and they can't get them. So we appreciate you. We are having this prime rib tonight. We got some young ladies who are going to be bringing that in for us momentarily. So you guys will see us here eating on the stage. So that was the other reason why we wanted to make sure that you all ate something.
So y'all,
Because it's just what you right. We were eating,
watching
y'all didn't have nothing. So that is coming up momentarily.
Yes, sir.
So while we're waiting for them to bring that in, I'll let you go ahead and talk a little bit more.
Okay, so while I leave up the word no.
Yeah, somebody told you no.
Yes, so he told me no. And so of course that felt like a punch in the stomach, right? Because again, I never heard the word no, and it's like, I want to do this. Now I'm giving all this red tape. So now I'm questioning myself because he's like, you never acted before, you never did a stage play, you never produced one. So it's like, now I'm hearing all that stuff in my mind because, okay, one of the stories that I remember, right, being told was, okay, it was this family driving on the highway, right? A father and two boys, his two little boys, and the guy caught a flat, pulled over the side of the road, and so now he's changed the tire, right? He jacked up the car. Something happened, the dad had to get up under the car, right? Right. Car failed. Not fail, but like, fell far enough where he couldn't slide up under it. So the little brother was like, talking to his big brother, like, get dad out of there. He's like, how? I said, lift the car up. can't lift no car? He said, yes, you can. Just that courage enough. Just him, somebody that he knows believing in him, made him lift that car up. His dad slid from under the car, right? But at this time, the neighbor saw it, called the police. Ambulance came, everybody come. They're like, how did he get from under the car? And the little boy was like, my brother did it, my brother did it. And the dad's like, no, he didn't. How did he get from under the car? We got a call that a man was under the car. And then the neighbor running towards the scene was like, it's true, I seen it all. So that goes to tell you that as long as you hear that you will. So when I was writing the stage play, I'm like, I can do this. I'm doing it. I'm going to do it. And I made a phone call and I hear, no. Now I'm doubting myself because the whole process, I'm saying I can do this. So when they said no, it took me back. So I'm like, maybe I can't do this. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I'm not qualified enough to do this. So, maybe a couple of days went by and I was like, then I had talked to somebody and they was like, man, just go to Cleveland State. And I was like, they got that? It's like, yeah, just call. And I called. And when I did the production, the first production, first show sold out. Second show sold out. Third show sold out. Fourth show, all these stage plays that I'm doing was selling out, right? And this is 2 years straight. I did 8 stage plays in 2 years.
Wow.
And they was like, that's unheard of. But me, I was motivated because I'm like, well, shoot, people liking it. So when I called that back down to the Playhouse, now I'm Mr. Weeden.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I called and I said, I want to rent a stage. I want to rent. Now I knew the theater. I want to rent the stage. It was like, okay, who am I speaking with? I'm like, this is Philly Weeden. Mr. Weeden, how you doing? Same guy.
Yeah.
Right. So when I went down to meet him to do the contract, the whole time in my mind, I'm like, you told me no.
Mm-hmm.
So now, exactly.
Right.
So now we have a relationship like never before, but I've never said that to him. I never reminded him of what happened, but it's a reminder to me.
Right.
So yeah, that's exactly what.
Clap it up for that. Let's do that.
So 8 stage plays in that time. Like, where were you doing these plays at?
At Cleveland State.
Okay.
Cleveland State. And that was it. Like I've really outgrown that venue. So it's like I needed to go somewhere. They go try to see. I'm like, man, no, I want to go to the Playhouse because I just want to see the lights. I want that whole vibe. And come to find out, I did my first stage play there, standing in the need. It sold out. Right, at the Playhouse. It sold out, and I was the first minority, independent, Black male from Cleveland to do a stage play.
I think that's beyond amazing to sell out the Playhouse.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like major productions that come to the Playhouse that don't sell out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that speaks to the love that you have here in the city. What do you think it is that helps you build that relationship with the people here? Because again, there's major productions that come to town that a lot of us don't go to. And
Are you
like
referring to stage plays or are you referring to just in general?
Well, both.
Okay. Well, stage plays are really, I just think that I took the approach of, because again, I'm somewhat of a perfectionist. People who know me may say that I am a perfectionist, but I'm somewhat of it.
Why only somewhat?
Because I just feel like a straight line just need to be straight. Okay. If it's a square, it got to be straight. Okay. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. So this is crooked. Like they can't do that. It's not a square. But what happened was I believe that the people feel my heart. You know what I'm saying? With the productions, I didn't want to jump into that without having when they told me no, I began to do my homework on it. Right. So with me, the best person in theater that's doing it, is Tyler Perry. To me, I'm not saying that because of the singing or that, production wise, the set is amazing. The music is amazing. The acting is amazing. sometimes the singing is a little overboard, but I didn't want to do all that. I'm like, I don't want singing. I just want straight theater. They was like, that's cool here at Cleveland State. But when you go into the Playhouse, you got to give them what they know. They don't know that. They know, all they know is that there's supposed to be some acting, singing. Acting, singing. So I was like, I don't want to do that. It's like, well, you know, if you want to play with the big dogs, you got to do what the big dogs do. I can't go in there and say, I'm not doing this. We're going to act. And then they get 50 people in the crowd, right? So I did that. And you know, my productions are different. You know, they're different. They're very comedic. So I think that was the draw, you know, because it was another side of me that people didn't see, right? You know, and as far as now, general, I would say it's my heart, you know, like I really make it a point to support other people, you know. I don't see no one's success as a threat to mine. I don't see no one's rising as a threat to me in my position. I want people to excel and go further beyond and know how I am, you know, because I'm okay with that. I'm not here to, you know, put my foot on no one's neck, no one's success, no one's thrive, no one's anything. I don't want to be the person to tell somebody no, you know, because I know what that feels like. I know what it tastes like. You can do it. Go. You know, and you know, so now I get, you know, sometimes about my son, you know, they like, hey man, your son bigger than you. He's supposed to be. I want him bigger, better, stronger, wiser, smarter, all of that. I want him all of that. Because I'm, you know, whether you see me as, you know, short to him, I'm big to him. You know, so I'm okay with that. You know, and I said, yeah, that says a lot about the DNA that I have.
You laid the foundation, and I think that's super important. One of the things that I noticed is that, and hopefully that you all got from this, is the key was you believed in yourself. You believed it. There's no, I'm not going to be able to do it. And then when somebody said no, you found a way to go around the corner and down the street and make it happen anyway. So building relationships, I think, and just being that person, somebody saw that in you and they knew you believe it. Energy is everything, and just really believe in yourself. But building positive relationships in the community is important. Do you feel like that's really how you were taken to the next level?
Sure.
Just your networking and really connecting with other people? Because you didn't just do a play and then do it by yourself. You had to have a team, right? So how did you build that team and get people to believe in you?
I don't think it was me trying to get them to help me. I believe that it was them seeing a need that they can offer.
Okay.
You know, so it's like, hey, you need me to do this. I need to do that. I need to do this. I'm like, okay. You know, and they jumped in and they believed in the vision because they saw the work ethic that I had. You know, so they like, man, he can go so much further if only he had. If only he had. So I can do this. So let me do this. And it's like, okay, you know, and that's just how it happened. It's not like I went out seeking, you know, people or seeking the help. The help found me. And they saw the void.
I think like I don't remember the first one that I went to. It was in which theater is on 14th? Is that Conner Place or?
No, I went to
14th Street, that's it.
Jesus. Yeah, Ohio Theater.
That's on 14th?
That's the smallest one.
Yeah.
Okay. So
no, I'm sorry, Hannah is the smallest.
Okay.
Then it's Ohio, then it's Conner, then it's
okay.
Allen, and then it's State.
Either way,
yeah.
I went and it was like filled to capacity, like people everywhere. Like I was amazed by it, just to be able to see somebody here in the city doing that. But then I think that's also because I love entertainment, all that stuff. So it was cool to come out, but it was good also just to see like the camaraderie between you and all of the other actors, and you were acting, and then Terrell Hicks was in there, which I think is something else that is like really notable for you, is that you haven't just gotten like up and coming actors and people that want to act and be in plays, but you have some of the biggest people in entertainment that are backing you and that are doing multiple productions of yours. What's the process of getting them involved? and getting them to really see the vision when they have been out here and they've done things like Belly.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna tell you about Terrell Hicks, right? I was so nervous because she was my first national act, right? The first known person. Everybody else, I had was just, local people who wanted to, people, local actors, things like that. But she was the first celebrity that I had. So I remember one time I was like, man, I want to get her because she sing, act, everybody knew her. So I'm like, all right. I was sitting in the back of the church.
And first of all, does everybody know who Terrell Hicks is? She was in Belly. Now, forgive me for this, but
because you had some other talents and we about to tap into one.
Forgive me for this. We are definitely coming back to this with Terrell Hicks. We had a special surprise for Philly, and that special surprise has arrived.
Exactly.
So
let's tap in.
What we got going on?
Unscript, what's up? We need that mic for your special surprise.
So listen, unscripted. It's unscripted. Yeah. So listen, let's welcome our guest. MC Brain.
Hey,
Everybody welcome MC Brain.
MC Brain.
Yeah. Cause you in the way, get out my face. You in the way, get out my face. You in the way, get out my face. You in the way, I need to know. How much room do you need? How much room do you need? How much room do you need? Come on, what's up, man? You ain't gonna rock with me. Come on, you gonna rock with me, cuz. Get up out the way, you ain't no franchise. Take it to the middle with the mother guys. Ain't bills dirty, yeah, my tongue hangs. And then in my pocket like a gangbang. Feeling like I'm at the airport. Skywalking at the airport. DJ might be playing trans shorts with a big piece. HBD never bought short. Right over left, watch the hip swing. All around the way while you trip over your skate string. Double shuffle. Shuffle. You struggle with the back, we get to double. Yeah, we on another level. Many moves, yeah, we got shuffle. And we land them on successful with the bases and the treble. Combos jumping to the floor. Either way, you in the way, I need to know. How much room do you need? 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 Rental skates, get them in the middle. The brown things belong in the middle. Rental skates, get them in the middle. Now the down things belong in the middle. Rental skates, get them in the middle. The brown things belong in the middle. Rental skates, get them in the middle. Now the brown things belong in the middle. How you gonna practice in the fast lane? Can't even maintain, you need to skate together ass pain. This is night night, start night. You don't know how much room do you need? You need pretty much how I go. Roll down, shoot and see it. Watch how we dip it in. Wide leg with it, then we dip again. Forward, backwards. Any direction, gotta match it. You gotta move. You gotta move. See up here in the land, that's what we do. 365, 40, yeah, we turn it. Nah, anything else is not concerning. Been waiting on the music and the lights, and the skaters roll around doing their thing that get me hyped. Maneuvering the lines since I walked in the door. Either way, you in my way, I need to know. How much room do you need? 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 Rental skates, get them in the middle. The brown things belong in the middle. Rental skates, get them in the middle. Then the brown things belong in the middle. Rental skates, get them in the middle. Then the brown things belong in the middle.
Real estate, get them in the middle. Man, the brown things belong in the middle. You in the way, get out my space. You in the way, get out my space. You in the way, get out my space. You in the way, I need to know. How much room do you need? Because I want to let you know, man, you are the best first cousin that a brother can have, man. I want to thank you for everything you do for the community. I want to thank you for breathing into my career when I'm on the down. And you say, cuz, up, come do this with me. And then my shit go. And I appreciate you for that. I love you. You always think about me. You tell me I love you 100 times a year. And I appreciate you, man. And the world needs you, and thank you.
The legend, y'all. That's what you gonna get from Buzzworthy. Never know magic. Beautiful. The village. And we in the village, right? It takes a village. Give it up, MC Praise, y'all. Talking about Cleveland. Cleveland is great. We got all the legends in the house. While we're transitioning in Philly, please go have a seat at the table. Me and I'm gonna be have that feminine energy over here. Fellas, come on over here and have a seat. Have your good to eat. As they're sitting down, guys, if you look behind or in front of you, actually, in there, if you see something taped to a chair that says number 1. Anybody see? Do you see this? Should be a number 1. Look in front of you. Look in front of the chair. You got number 1? Number 1. Okay. All right. So what we're gonna do is, I'm like a bootleg comedian. I like to have fun. First of all, I'm a whole vibe. You're gonna hear that all the time. So I like everybody to be a vibe with me. So we're gonna have a little fun as they start eating. Because I don't really want to mess up my dress. I'm gonna smash that later though. I'm not even gonna act like it right now. So the first person who has number 1, can you stand up, please? Now you gotta get this right, and you get a really, really good gift. My mistress of ceremony around here. Okay, going to get the mistress of ceremony. First of all, how do y'all feel tonight? Are you enjoying yourself? Okay, good, because I'm enjoying you. So the first question, now these are going to be really tough. So think really, really hard, dig really, really deep. If you don't get it, you can maybe ask your neighbors for a little help. Okay, because we're at the village show. All right. Now dig deep, think deep. On the 90s hit TV show, Martin, what floor did Brother Man live on? Oh, she got it right! Brother Man live on the 5th floor. That's okay. So you're gonna get a gift. You won, girl. Now, can you read what's on the back of your card? You are amazing. You all are amazing. You're amazing for being here. We have a winner. And what is your name? Juan? Yeah. What's your favorite color, Juan? Red. We're going to go by your favorite color. We just got some here close to red. Nope. Black. This right here, black and red goes together. Okay, I'm going to let you get the choice. You want the left? Because these good gifts, y'all. She can tell y'all what she wants. When you woke up this morning. Woo-hoo! Thank you. All right. So, anybody have number 2? Anybody find number 2? Okay. Would you like to participate? Okay. So, oh wait, I don't really want him to answer this question. So, You want to pass it to her? He can win the gift if you want to. So this gift is, I need you to dig deep on this, okay? And Phil, we might need your help. So this question is, how many abs does Philly have? 6, 8, or 10? Take a good guess. 6, 8, or 10? Only one person, the number 2 lady has to answer. 6. Philly, can you help us with that? Did she get it right? 6, 8, or 10? 6. He has 6. Woo! What is your name? Somebody said, I don't have nothing to do with that. Oh, what is your name? Kim, you have won. You got the answer correct. And so, Kim, you have won a gift today. Thank you for being here with Buzzworthy tonight. Now, this next question, who has number 3? I don't know how she got number 3. I really don't ask me. Thank you. She didn't win. I didn't even ask the question yet. So this question could be a little tough. But so I will say you are a DJ, you might get this right. It might be unfair, but this question don't have nothing to do with his ass. Focus. This question is, where was Usher at 7 o'clock? You won! Hey! So all of you are winners today. And on the back of the car, each card says that you are amazing because you all are amazing. So when you come, it's always going to be. All right. What did you get? Did you get a Keurig? Sorry, Billy. Anyway, yeah, so thanks for participating with us. So right now, as they are eating, yes.
No, you know what? I just want to ask, but I was going to ask Billy how the food was, but it's almost gone. So just to give you guys an idea, I did tell you what he asked for. So we are having prime rib with mashed potatoes and green beans. I would love for Antoine, if he is in the room, to talk a little bit about everything that he puts together and talk about his catering business.
How you guys doing? Right. All right. I'm Antoine from Antoine's Catering. And I'm James, brother-in-law. Looking out. What they have is a 12-ounce New York strip steak. New York strip. Okay, it was prepared on a charcoal grill, seared and smoked with hickory wood. Then we have potatoes that are whipped with a hint of rosemary flakes and garlic and a hint of sour cream. Then we have string beans that are flavored with smoked turkey. Yes, we have. I went to start.
Do you do private events?
I do parties and events. I don't do, like I do larger events.
Large events.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you so very much.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Gotcha. Gotcha. Understood. I've been catering for about 16 years. Started off small, I'm still small. I don't want to go too big. I'm a teacher, so I just want to, cater when I can. So I do it when I can. I mean, reach me at 216-849-1860. I have cars out here, and that's who I am. And I love to cook. My favorite is smoked meats. I love meats. I like to do meats. So when you guys get your steak, when you guys get your steak, you can actually eat that without a knife.
Okay.
Yeah, steak will fall apart. Actually, yeah. So I'm sorry. 216-849-1860. Our cars out here also. In case you want to grab a car.
Thank you
Thanks
so
again,
very
James.
much.
Have me. Appreciate it.
That is awesome. So we also, because we are, the purpose of the show is definitely to celebrate and honor our guests. And so we don't, obviously, we have prime rib. We're not playing no games, okay? So something else that we had made for you, and I know you're eating, so I'm going to help you with this. But we know y'all can see he don't play no games. He don't mind being flashy. I mean, he do things on a big level, so we got to do things on a big level for you. And we had the bling specialist. If you know anything about she's obsessed with bling, then you know this is about to be something. So I gotta show you. Someone told me they wanted you to see the presentation. Okay, so you see the inside of the box. So now they took a little time, so I had to show that. So when you're working out and you need your water and your beverages, you have a handmade special bling outfit. That was handmade. That's not no sticker. And it's not no regular straw either. So we wanted to do something special and something that was dedicated to you and to that you could carry around, because we are about, all of us, it's a lot of entrepreneurs in here. And we know that when you're branding yourself and when you're out, it's a lot of work to be an entrepreneur. It's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. A lot of people see the glitz and the glamour, but they don't see the hard work. So we want you, you should always brand. I'm all about that. If you go to the grocery store, you go down the street, you go to church, talk to your mom, friend. If you not about, you about business if they know you have business. And so wherever you go, I feel like you should brand yourself, and we wanted to take you to the next level and get something that will really be you out there. But that looks like it matched really on And just recognize her. She is a celebrity bling specialist. She was just recognized by Kim Whitley on her show with, what's her name? Sherry Shepherd. And she blinged out a cup and they featured her. And they used the cup on their 100th episode special. And and this is an East Cleveland young lady right here. So shout out to East Cleveland. So yeah, and we all about that. We're entrepreneur. If you're in the building, we are definitely going to recognize you and shout you out, and we appreciate you so much. We have one more thing in store, but I'm gonna let James take over and do this. That's what we do. We want you to feel good. We say we make you feel good. We want to make you feel good, and you deserve it. We don't do that. You know, a lot of these honorary shows, what they do, they call you up. You did a great job. They give everything you did. They give you this little thing, piece of paper, and you walk off. When you leave here, you're going to feel good. You're going to have something to show for it. And that's what we about.
you know, my thing was, you know, obviously I've known you for a long time, so, but I see all of the stuff that you do, and you've motivated me in a lot of ways, definitely on the entertainment front. Because I love, you know, entertainment and media. I love media, want to cover different stuff like that. So it was cool to be able to do something like that here in the city for somebody from here in the city that really appreciated it and wanted that sort of thing and wanted positivity as opposed to the other stuff going on out there. So I always feel like I want to do something to show appreciation and say thank you. So I took it up on myself to go and have this made. And it actually is going to be done for every guest, but you the first.
You first.
And it says, I did that on purpose. I'm gonna let you read that to everybody.
One more thing.
And we got one more thing for you.
God was ahead of my life.
BET Award. BET Award.
It wasn't for my mom. Yo. Thank you for inspiring urban culture.
Period.
That is.
So we got one more gift for you.
So tonight, when you put that on your mantle or on your table or wherever you would like to put that, we would like you to light a candle in honor of you. And so we have a charged up candle. This is a positive energy candle. I would like you to smell that candle. That is a handmade candle from the Love Yourself collection. It's positive energy. Okay, so let me tell you something about what he just did. It is all natural and it is also massage oil. So you can rub it on your body, and, you know, massage it or things like that. So, yeah. But it is also, it makes you feel good. So that is what we have, and we definitely wanted to honor you. We take it very seriously here at Buzzworthy. You like that, Billy? You like that?
So
That's my daughter. Thanks.
So that's it for the surprises for right now. We do have one other thing that we have for you, which is at the end of the show. Don't nobody celebrate you like this. You gotta admit it. You gotta admit it. Oh, you ate good. You had Antoine's catering. Like, you ready to go to sleep now.
We're back to the bar around here. But I also want to I see a few people that came in here that are definitely supporters and been sharing and liking and supporting a lot, and that are big time entrepreneurs. I just wanted to say we have the healer of Cleveland in here, them Grow Girls and Loving Me Detox, Deidre Hope. So thank you. Yeah, somebody said, where's she at? That's right. So Deidre don't play. She heals the whole city. So we just want to bless you and thank you for that. And she's definitely one of our big supporters.
Yeah.
And we have, if you want to get your life together, and it's real, this lady actually bought a building on the block, probably the whole block, of East Cleveland, and Royal Financial Services. So shout out to Raquel right here. Yeah. Big boss. So I'm sure I can't see that well in here right now, but I know there's a few others, but I definitely wanted to shout out to people that always support.
Yeah, I just want to make it clear too that like everybody in here has been a major supporter.
The beauty is we put an event right out, and then we specially invited some people as well. So it's cool because we pretty much know everybody that's here. But everybody that came, they came because they know us and they know what we're trying to do, and they know that we're trying to succeed, and they are full-on supporters. So we really, really appreciate everybody that's here. We do have a little bit more of the show, a few more questions. He got to get back to Terrell Hicks and some of the other people that he's had in his productions as well. And we're going to end this off pretty soon so that we can get to that next surprise. And then we'll give everybody the opportunity to meet and greet and talk to Philly and take some pictures and just have a good time.
So yes, and I definitely got to give a shout out to DJ Jaxie in the building.
DJ Jesse in the building. I just want to say, what's the guy that works here? Larry. I was in a hallway when Larry was told that, hey, you need to turn the air on. And Larry said, okay, well, Tim said, they say that now, but 5 minutes after I turn this on, they gonna be saying, cut it off. Tim. It is cold. Jesus. Tim, we believe you. We believe you. He said, they said, turn the air on. They don't want me to do it right now. Trust me. 5 minutes, they're going to say, cut it off. Man, I've been questioning myself the whole time I'm up here. Nose, fingertips. I didn't hear this fast. I didn't want it to get cold. Hey, your food cold. I know it's cold right now.
I wasn't gonna do that right now. Yes. And then I think we had a lot of people while we get back to our seats. We have a lot of people that tried to be here today. And so we want to recognize people that flew in this morning and came in from Atlanta, Georgia. So we got some real boss players front row. So would y'all like to say hello? And my beautiful mother there. Thank you, Mom. And mom, I ain't trying to just brag over here. You talked about Tyler Perry, and my mother definitely worked for Tyler Perry for years, and she's one of the people that I admire, and the reason why I am a go-getter, and I believe I can do whatever I want to do. Because my mother, and she was like, "Oh, I'm from Cincinnati." She's like, "You moving to Cleveland?" And I'm the only child, so that's a lot for a mother who's a real mother. Like mother, I'm spoiled with love, not financially. I was spoiled with love. And so I moved to Cleveland 20-something years ago. When I moved to Cleveland, my mother was about 48 years old. And she was like, "Oh, well, go ahead. I'm about to go to Atlanta and I'm going to go work in the movie industry." And I was like, okay. And a year later, she was working for Tyler Perry, talking to T.I., my son met Beyonce. And so I just admire her strength and her passion. And then her best friend here, Pandora. She has a major marketing company. Accolades, right-hand man for Tom Joyner. We got connections, you know what I'm saying, around here. We James and we just went to Atlanta. I mean, I'm surrounded by, and I'm saying this because your network is your net worth. And so James was very humble, but we just went to Atlanta, and if you saw, Fantasia had my candle and talked about it and posted it, and that was because that's James' cousin. So he hooked me up with me and Fantasia, and I appreciate that. And I'm name dropping, yes I am, because I want y'all to know what the about. And so things that, and I just want to say that we definitely here for Philly, but we wouldn't be here with Philly if I had not met James, and James did not have a passion to quit his job. We wouldn't really say, I'm about to take this to the next level. And I'm like holding back in tears because
we wouldn't be here with Philly if we did not work hard. And we are working hard to pull this off. And that's really the key behind it. It's not the fact that you know me or who I know. It's the fact that we are working really, really hard.
We work real hard.
And we're sacrificing in every way.
But we work
that
hard
we
because of your dream, and because of this is your dream.
But that's the beauty of following your passion. When you follow your passion and do what you love, and you'll go really hard at it. And I was at University Hospital for 20 years, and I can be grateful all day long, but I didn't go as hard as I go with media stuff because it's not what I wanted to do. So the answer was for me to leave. It may not have been the smartest thing to do, but the answer was for me to leave so that I could really follow my passion and that I could put this show together so that we could have 10 views. So everything happens the way that it's supposed to.
And then, I mean, God bless you with me. And
Absolutely.
We straight to the top. We straight to the top.
And you know what? While we're recognizing people, while we are recognizing people, God blessed me with Marie Kennedy, aka Disciple. She's been over there.
No Static Radio.
She is the owner of No Static Radio, and she's been doing media probably for as long as I've been doing media. And regardless of me having worked for whoever, you know, I've worked at 93 and 107, and I've done a lot of stuff. But she's probably the only place that I've worked in radio where I love to be there. And I know that it's family, and I know that it's people that really care about me and my brand and what it is that I'm doing. And she pushes me probably harder than she pushes herself. She's here, and this is her daughter's birthday weekend. And she's here. She was here doing media, and she had stuff planned with her daughter, but she's here. And her family understands. So I'm grateful to her for everything that she does too, because she's helping me to get a lot further than what I would be by myself. So I think that's the key, is that we have to be grateful to the people that we have in our lives and in our circles, and say thank you, because we don't say thank you enough. And regardless of whether we want the accolades or anything, it feels good for somebody to say thank you. I appreciate you. So
and your beautiful
we
mother.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
James. James talk about his mother all the time.
Because me and my mother we FaceTime every morning.
I mean, he loved his mom. So, hey, mom, you know, he talks about you so much, and I know that you're definitely a blessing in his life.
She's a big blessing, and regardless of what I do, she supports it and she pushes it. And we went to school together, and we graduated Cleveland State together. And wow. And what was that, 2010? Or we graduated 2011 together. Well, imagine the feeling of walking across the stage with your mother. Like it was awesome. And she and I are probably closer than I've ever been with anybody besides my sister who's sitting here. But I'm always grateful to my mother, because no matter what, whether it's good or whether it's bad, she supports it. And she makes me feel good. Even when I got kicked out of school twice, she said, well.
Is that why y'all went together? She was like, let me hold your hand.
Who failed the bar exam twice? Who did you tell me failed the bar exam twice? Right. So every time I complained about getting kicked out of school, she said, well, he failed the bar exam twice, and he's still doing it. So she was always supportive. And I'm always grateful to my mother. And I'm grateful to the village and to everybody around me. I've been crying all week about this show. So. Thank everybody.
It's the village that counts, you guys. And hopefully everybody recognizes that we couldn't be anything without you. And if we all take that, and you can see that from Philly's story, from James' story, my story, there's nothing that you can't do if you just believe. And surround yourself with people that really, truly care about you, that really want to support you. And if you only, I say it all the time, if I go on the radio, if I got one listener, I'm going hard for that one listener, whether I got 1 or 100. So don't get caught up in the hype. He started as a janitor, and this man is internationally known on the microphone. Oh, Porter, I'm sorry.
Porter.
Okay.
Janitor is what we know it as. My title?
Environmental service.
Yes. My paycheck says Porter.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, yeah, if you don't get anything from tonight, just get that whatever you want to do, you can do it. Believe in yourself, and all dreams come true. If you put the effort in. You got to put the work in, because a lot of people be like, I'm just going to pray to God. God wants you to work. You know what I'm saying? So, you put the work in and believe in yourself, and you will be blessed.
So all that being said, take us back to Terrell.
Back to you, Billy.
Okay, so Terrell Hicks. All right. So I was sitting in the back of the church, and I said, in order for my next production to be bigger than a large, I needed a larger person who can pull, you know? So I was, watching Tyler Perry stuff, and at the end, all the credits go up, right? So I'm like, all right, so I'm just taking out names as they go up. This person played this person, this person. So now I'm Googling everybody. So then when I got to her, I was like, oh, she's gonna cost a lot, because Belly and what was the other one? Bronx Tales. Bronx Tale, and then she was signed with Missy Elliott and all of the. I'm like, all right, am I ready to hear what she's gonna say? Am I prepared to hear what she got to say? So, because in that particular stage play, she was the lead. So that's what I wanted, because she carried the whole production. So I'm sitting in the back of church, and I'm just typing, right? And then I'm deleting. Then I'm typing. I'm deleting. I'm like, I don't want her to come back and be like, you ain't, because.
But that's
Yeah. So I just said, forget it. And then just press send. I pressed send, and like 10 minutes later, she replied, hey, Philly, how you doing? Thank you so much for reaching out to me. I'm so excited. Can you please send me the script? And I'm like, I ain't got no script. So, I just read the message, like, okay, I gotta get to work. So I went home, and that whole day, I dedicated myself to completing that script. So I typed it, I sent it to her the next morning, and she replied right back again, and she was like, thank you. It sounds amazing. I'm gonna talk it over with my team. I'm like, team, she got team. So now I'm just hearing ching, 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 ching. So then she replied back that night, and she said, Philly, we would love to be a part of your production. We researched you. We made a few phone calls. We found out about you. You're a great guy to work with. And most of all, you're about your business.
That's, to cut you off, but that's a good point, is that the work that you do follows you.
Mm-hmm.
So it pays to do a really good job at what it is that you're doing, especially if you love to do it.
Yeah.
And I say that also because your cousin was on my show maybe 2 months ago.
Okay.
And the first thing that he said is, I researched you before I agreed to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I called a few people, and everybody had good stuff to say.
Yeah.
And that was why he did it.
Yeah.
So that, like, your reputation follows you.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
but okay.
Yeah, I mean, she said that, and I was just so excited, So my next question was, so how much? Because we ain't talking about nothing if I can't afford it, she told me the price, and I was like, oh, because I always think big, so if somebody come with a smaller number, in their mind, they might be like, well, I'm gonna charge them this. But in my mind, I'm like, I thought you was gonna charge that. So I instantly replied back, like, yes, what I gotta do. She's like, we'll send a deposit, and then we can go from there. And I didn't know that once you get one, others will follow. So other celebrities was now following me, reaching out. Hey, when you got production, let me know. I would love to be a part of it. Terrell spoke highly of you. Then I'm like, God, Lee. From her, I got Mark Nelson, I got Terrell Brooks, man, it was so many people, man. The Temptations movie, like all the people was contacting me because they loved what she had to say. Of course, she's been places, right? They've been around major people, you know, who do it on a different level. But she saw that, right. And she said that on the news interview, you know, when she did an interview here on Fox 8.
She had a lot of press.
A lot of
around
press.
it,
She did
which
a lot
is
of press.
good because sometimes you get people
Who want to charge for that.
well, not only that, but they'll take part in it and then they don't really support it.
Mhm.
They're doing it just for the money,
Yeah.
so they don't really support
Yeah.
it. But that's one of the things that she and I have talked about for the last 2 months is that we've been posting. We posted 100 times, you posted 200 times.
Yeah.
So it's like everything that we posted, you tag it and you put it in the story,
That was
and
a
you
big deal.
and that was a big deal because like a lot of people were hitting us back based
Mhm.
on the fact that you were sharing it, and
Nice.
a lot of people were sharing it, and that goes a long way.
Yeah. This is a reason why I do that. Okay. Because again, I've been told no, you know, many times because people can see me as a threat, right? They see my success as a threat. They see my upbringing or my rise or whatever as a threat. So, and I say that because when I did a stage, when I sat down to do a stage play, you know, it was another playwright in the city who was doing stage plays as well. Now she been doing them, right? And this is my first one. So of course I wanted to get some advice. So she put up a status, it's a regular status or whatever, and I wrote on the status, "Hey, please contact me. I need some questions." Right? So I go back 10 minutes later, another person under me, she talking to them, another person, another person, she's talking to them. So I'm like, she just skipped right over me. Right? And I was like, why would you, you know, like why? You know what I'm saying? So at that time I was still promoting my production, right? And then it sold out. So I, you know, tagged it, sold out, you know. So now she reached out to me, right? And then she's like, "Hey, meet me in my office, you know, downtown, and so on, so on, so on." So I came to the office and I sat down. The first thing she said out of her mouth was, "Who are you to sell out?" And I was like,
Billy.
like, who are you to sell out? And I just looked at her and I said, "I thought you had something you wanted to talk to me about." And I just got up and walked out the office. And, you know, of course, she's no longer doing productions, but I mean, you know, again, I know what it feels like to be the underdog and to be held down, you know, because you have aspirations to be much bigger than that. So I know what it feels like. So if anybody reaches out to me for anything, man, I'm an open book. I give them answers. I give them the way to go, all of that, because I know what it feels like. And I don't want to be the person that somebody has a bitter taste of. You know, like, I reached out to Philly, he just told me to kick rocks. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is that going to do? What is that going to do? So yeah, so if you post and you tag me, I'm reposting it. If you post and tag me, I'm reposting it. I don't believe in my supporters are my supporters. Right. Like, no, you can't have them. No, because any given moment they can leave too. Right. You know, and they will be like, well, I'm going over here. I'm going over here. I can't hold them like this and be like, you can't go over there. Don't go support. Right. Don't go to that gym. Don't go to that stage play. Don't do that. Go support them, because, you know, I had a conversation yesterday with a guy who just opened up his gym. Mm-hmm. Right. And when I walked up to the door, he just stared at me with his mouth wide open. And he was like, babe, come here. He called his wife over and he was like, look who here. And I'm like, but see, that goes to show you that they didn't expect another gym owner to support another gym opening up. They're not doing it. Exactly. So he was like, man, he's like, a lot of people that I reached out to personally and asked, can they come? And it was like, no. Or they just read the message and opened it. He's like, I didn't even talk to you, and you're here. Right. He's like, that says a lot.
And a lot of people think that support means that you have to spend money or invest in it. Support is so simple, guys. Yeah. Like, support is just sharing the information. A post to take to, so you already on there. Most people on there is trolling and strolling through and halfway liking and acting like they not on there. Just share it. It's not gonna hurt you, and it goes a long way. You know, it's law of attraction. So some of y'all business owners, you wondering why you're not going nowhere, share, like, it help because all that comes back.
It comes back.
We can all win. We all can win together.
Absolutely.
Well, I think that you've done some really, really amazing things. You know, obviously in entertainment, but also in fitness. Before we close out, for those who do not know, let everybody know about the Volt.
The Vault. Man, honestly.
Say it again.
Honestly, man, that place is love. You know, it's love. Every time I just get, no matter what I'm going through, no matter what mood I'm in when I wake up, I know that as soon as I get there, I'll be okay. You know, my problems will be fine. And when I get off work, then yeah, they're still there. But when I'm there, I feel like I'm on vacation, you know, because the place has been created around energy and around love and around support, you know. At first, the gym was called Naturally Gifted. My brother and I, right? My brother he called me when I was in Iraq, and he was like, "Man, I want to open the gym." And I was like, "What you want me to do?" You know? And he was like, "Well, you got the experience in it, you know. So, you know, I'm gonna find a location, and then you get on, you know, all the other stuff." So cool. So we hung the phone up or whatever, and then I got to work. You know, I found out all the equipment. I found, you know, I pretty much laid out the operation of how it should go. You know, because that's what I know. You know, so I came home 2011, and then I did the stage plays, and then he opened up the gym in 2013. Right, I was only there for support, you know, for my brother, because that's what you need me for. You know, I don't want to be no gym owner. I don't want to be here. I want to be here to support your vision, though. Right. So I'm here, and I know training. So my job was a trainer. That was it. And so I was supporting him, and he began to do a class called Extreme Hip Hop, right? And that took off. So he came, he said, "Bro, I don't want gym no more because, you know, I need to travel. I just need to travel. I don't want to feel like I'm locked down, and I can't commit to dates because I need to be here." I was like, again, what you want me to do? Because I don't want to be no gym owner. You know, that's not my plan at all. And again, what Naturally Gifted became, I didn't see that for me, right? You know, because I'm not from the boot camp world. I'm from, you know, corporate gyms. So it's like, I don't know nothing about boot camp, nothing about it. So he was like, I mean, if you got to go, you got to go. If you don't want to do it, you don't. I mean, I just know I can't do it. So I was like, all right. So then people started, "Hey, Philly, what you gonna do at the gym? Can you please keep the gym? What you gonna do at the gym?" And I was like, "We'll see," you know, because in the meantime, I was really scouting for a location just to do training, you know, so that's my passion is training. So I got a hold of the landlord, and, you know, I talked to her about upstairs, and she was like, "Well, if you want upstairs, what we can do is I'll give you full control over the whole build out." I was like, "Are you serious?" She said, "You can pick chandelier, you can pick whatever you want to pick. Walls, wherever you want the walls to go, what colors is yours if you want it." So I was like, yeah, because now I know the vision, right? You know? So when I did that, and again, the trainers and the instructors and everything, man, it just came, you know, because they saw the passion that I have for fitness and for the people in the community. And now the gym is amazing, man. There's so many brands. There's over 20 different brands in that gym. Like, they're not, Volt is just the building, you know, but they have their own movement, their own brand, their own support, you know, and again, we all support each other. Right. If one person is doing something, we doing this. Right. If I'm going here, we going there. Right. You know, because again, I don't want it to be about me. I don't want it to be all me. You know, I want someone else to excel and go beyond it. And I come back, and I was talking to D about that before. You know, I said, when it's your time, you got to reach back and get somebody else.
What kept you moving through it as you were kind of building your passion for obviously owning the location? And I say that because obviously there were ups and downs, and you dealt with fire and closure for a little bit and all kinds of stuff. So like, what kept you there and not just saying, you know what, forget it, I didn't want to do it?
God, because I did want to give it up. I wanted to quit. I wanted to stop because it was a lot, you know. Again, like, I think big, right? So many times I've questioned myself that I've gotten too big for myself, because it's like the vote is so demanding, you know, like it's a lot that goes into it just to keep it up, right? And so the only thing that I was like, I can't do this no more. And when quarantine happened, I was like, this is my out.
Right.
This is my out. And I literally was about to do it. And then I said, God, I was talking to someone, and I told them how tired I was, you know, how frustrated I can get at times. And I was like, I can't do this. And I was like, you know, the only way I'm gonna do it is if the landlord give it to me for this price. Right? Just playing, just saying it. 2 days later, the landlord called, was like, hey, can you meet me at the house? So I went over there, and we sat down, was on her porch, and she was like, okay, I know we're going through a lot of things, you know, quarantine, we don't know what's going on. How about we reduce your rent? And I just looked at her, and she's like, what? And I was like, God told you to say that. And she was, she's like, you know, she, like, what? No, I said that, you know, but then I said, God told you to say that. And she was like, why do you say that? And I was like, because I wanted to quit. And I said, if the landlord give it to me for this price, I'll do it. She's like, well, here, sign it. And I just looked at the paper, man, and started crying and signed. And so, you know, that was the sign that I needed. Like, you ain't know if this is what's hurting you, or this is what's hindering you, or this is what's the problem to keep you from doing what you're doing because you're doing good things. I removed that. So now what? And I have no reason. I have no reason, because the people there, man, like, my heart wants everyone that walks through that door to be successful. My heart wants everyone to get whatever it is they're coming to get. Like, success to many of us is not monetary. Success to many of us is just feeling good, looking good, you know, doing our best, you know, because many of us have been in situations where we were told no, or we came from a situation where, you know, it's like, man, I suck. You know, I'm not getting no better. I'm at a gym. This is my last resort. This is it. I'm gonna lose 5 pounds and see. And then you mess around and go to a competition and win it. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that. It's like, when as adults at 40 years old, 50 years old, did you compete in anything and became first place? You know what I'm saying? And so it's like that you see people walking around there with the attitude of, I can do anything, because that's what I breathe to the atmosphere. You can do anything, 50, 60, 40, 20, whatever. You can do whatever it is you want to do. And my job is to get it out of you. I want the best out of you. I want you to be the greatest. I want you to achieve and succeed. So I take it very personal, like, if my clients don't do what they're supposed to do. You know, because I'm invested emotionally. I'm invested that way. You know, I'm not taking your money because you paying bills. No, I'm taking your money because this is an agreement that you saying that you want my help. I want to help you. I literally want to help you. So it really hurts me, because it's like, dang, man, like, you can be so much better than this. You can be further along than this. You can actually be at your goal, living your best life. I told a client a couple of days ago, I looked at her and I said, Do you want to die not knowing that you actually looked your best, one time in your life? And she just looked at me. I said, can you honestly say when you looked your best as an adult? Not saying, in high school I was, I had this. As an adult, after you had kids, after you job and life is beating you up, can you honestly say you actually looked your best one time in your life? She's like, I'm gonna get it together, man. I'm gonna get it together. I'm gonna get it together. Yeah, and I was like, no, but another thing, okay, I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this and then y'all can have the conversation back. I was weighing in a client of mine, right? This is when I became really, really serious about the things I do in life, period. I was weighing her in, and I wrote the number down, right? So when I'm doing body fat, I need your age and I need your height, right? So the height is written on the paper and the age, sometimes I have to ask because they had a birthday, I have to change it. So I said, how old are you? And she put her head down. And she's like, 62. I said, okay, why you say it like that? She's like, because when you just asked me that, I realized I have more years behind than I have ahead of me. And when she said that, I didn't get it right then and there. But I got it when I got home, and I was like, she probably, that's a thing to live with. That any day, like if I'm 62, what's the chance of me living 62 more years? I have more life behind me than I have ahead of me. So when she said that, I took time. I didn't take time for granted at all after that. After she said that, every second of my day, every minute of the hour, I am doing something that I feel I need to do. Like, I don't want idle time. I don't want to have that attitude at 62. At 62, I want to be like, man, I'm living. I did good. I don't want to have no regrets. So my life, my life has shifted since that comment she made, and that was a couple of years ago.
Looking toward the future.
Mm-hmm.
I know you have a couple of productions that have been underway,
Mm-hmm.
Family Ties, and I pay attention.
Go ahead, bro. I have three.
Right.
Written, ready to go.
So, like, what kind of, not necessarily a timeline, but in a sense, like, how do you plan on, I guess, working that into everything that you're doing now with the boat? Because it is demanding, for you to be doing the boat, and you travel a lot and bringing.
I'm not going to use that as an excuse.
Oh, of course.
The only excuse that I have for doing productions now is that I'm afraid. I'm afraid because it's different out here. Like, movie theaters is not doing good. Theaters is not even doing good because everyone is afraid of the COVID, right? And breathing, coughing on us. And I understand. It's like, I don't want to gamble like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say, God, you got me, let's go. Production, Playhouse. And then,
Right.
I take an L. Just because I said I wanted to do one, no. And to me, I have to feel it. And I honestly don't feel it. I don't feel it. I don't want to rush anything. Again, during quarantine, I written 3, and I was like, after this, because I didn't think it was going to be a thing. I think that's right there. It's going to hit us, and it's going to go somewhere else, and we out. So I'm like, as soon as this is over with, I'm doing a play. It's like, no.
It really
3 months, it came back. And I was like, God, I'm not going to do no play. So yeah, I have to just wait until I feel like I can do it. And I feel that the community is ready to sit next to each other, Amen. Thank you.
As far as the boat, what's the future look like for the boat?
The future is my son. That's my son is the future, man. To see what he has become at 20, right? at 18, he worked at the Vote because, he needed some money. So I was like, well, he started as a janitor too,
Porter.
No, I didn't have a porter then. I called it what it was. Sweep the floor, vacuum, do this. And then, to him, he didn't see it as an embarrassment how I saw it. He see it as, one, my dad is telling me to do it. Two, this is my dad's gym. He's not seeing it as, who looking at me, because the people are gonna see you doing it and be like, oh, he helping his dad, or he's helping the business. So they're not gonna look down at you. So when he did that, it was just money. He just wanted some money because, as a teenager, that's what they want. So he was working for it. And then he came to me one day and said, Dad, I want to be a trainer. And I just looked at him. And I was like, why? And he was like, I just see how you change people's lives, man. And he's like, I really want to do that. And I said, you serious? He's like, yeah. I was like, well, first we got to get you certified. Then you got to shadow me. Then you got to drill me, ask me questions. I don't want to give you knowledge. You got to ask me questions. And ever since then, man, now he's up to 52, 3 clients. And so when I say the future, this is funny. When I say the future is my son, I absolutely mean that, because I know that if it's just me, I feel like the gym would end up being like a Baptist church. Right? We're all gonna, grow old together. And it's nothing after us. It's just like we hold on right in the end. But now that my 20-year-old son is there, he got 20-year-olds walking through the doors. He has 20-year-olds walking through the doors, 18-year-olds walking through the doors. So it's like I feel life. I feel like there's something after this. And so that's the future. The future is my son. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do now, as long as I can do it until he said, Dad, I'm ready. And then let's go. I'm not gonna go nowhere, but it's yours. And that's the same thing that happened with Dick's. All right, I don't know if y'all know the story, but Dick's Sporting Goods. The father owned it, and he just wanted to do fishing and outdoor stuff. That's it. And of course, it made him some money. He was a millionaire or whatever. And his son was working, summertime. He's like, Dad, you need to get sports, football, baseball. He's like, no, we're sticking to what we know. This is what works for us. The son went to college, came back out, and was like, Dad, this is what we need to do. This. Dick's Sporting Goods is what it is now because of the son, not because of the father. The father said, this is all I know. This is what I'm going to do. It works. I'm good. And I get that. But the son was like, it can be that. So Dick's Sporting Goods is where it is now because of the son. That's what I want.
And it's the foundation. Like, you laid the foundation for your son, and he saw what you had in you, and you inspired him. Same thing, I'm sure, with the Dick. So they take it to the next level, which is, I know James is doing that with his son, being a part of the radio show and actually bringing him a part of the work. So both of our kids were here tonight and working. So I think that says a lot for the village. Bring the village back. I'm all about that. And that's just be an example for your children. It goes out into the community, your son. I'm sure he has a lot of friends, and they're inspiring. So you inspiring him is inspiring other people. So that's the beautiful thing.
Kind of looking to close out a little bit. What are you most proud of? Like, you've done a lot of stuff.
To be honest,
everything. What are you most proud of?
I can't say what I'm proud of, because I'm a visionary, right? So as a visionary, you already see yourself in the place. So when people celebrate you, you're already at another place. So it's like, I saw myself at the Playhouse Square, right? So after the play, everybody was like, oh my God, congratulations. Now in my mind, I'm like, I need to go on tour. So when it's hard for me to stay in a place, because I'm always thinking of a better, bigger place. So I really can't say for myself, I don't have a moment, but I'm I'm more proud of the people that are succeeding because of me. That's what I can say I'm most proud of, to see, D on the road and getting booked and to know that Ron is following that,
Right.
and to know that the gym is thriving, succeeding because they see that not only that I'm doing it, that I'm helping them do it, right? That I'm showing them to do it. Right. They have questions. They ask, look, do it like this. Say this, do this, don't do that. Don't go there. And because I don't mind being an example. If I go somewhere and be like, oh, that's a bus, don't go there. I'm gonna tell you, don't go there. I don't want to sabotage you. I want you to be successful too. So skip that city. Go here.
Absolutely. Anything for you?
I'm just honored to be here with you. I'm inspired. But I do have a few closing words that I wrote down.
Before you do that, how can people get to you, see what you are about, get to the vote? How can they find out about everything that you have going on? And what should they know moving forward after today?
Know about me? Okay, well, to know what's going on with me, Philly Weeden on all social media platforms. Philly Weeden. I'm kind of quick in response time.
Yeah.
I'm kind of quick in response time. It just depends on the day. Sometimes I really don't want to open up my DMs or my messengers or even my text messages, because sometimes I can have a day, where it's just, but that's how you get a hold of me. Again, I'm pretty quick on the response time. What was the other question?
How do they get in touch with you?
How do they learn more about the vote and the services that you offer? And
Man, honestly, just come up. Just come up there. When you come up there, I can tell you all about it right now. And you just got to come up there and see it. When you walk in the door, you feel something. You feel inspired. You feel led. You feel
intense.
It's more than just about the class, though. Again, this is the
well, for me, I can't get past the class.
Tell me where you're located. How you make it through the class?
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
All y'all gotta do a show on Monday. Okay.
Joy made a little mockery of me because she says, well, you're never gonna do what you want if you're not consistent. Because I usually don't make it through all 3 days of the week, like all 3 of the classes in the week. I'll usually come Monday, Tuesday, and then she'll be looking for me Thursday, and I'll be driving or something. I'm like, oh no, I'm still driving, and then I won't be back for like a month or two. and who usually convinces me to come, and we don't even talk, but I see her on the videos, is Big Bree.
Mm-hmm.
She be moving, and then I'd be like, yeah, I need to go to class. And then I'll go 2 days, and I'm like, I'm done. It's intense, man, but it's good stuff though. But
I will say your whole facility, you have some super awesome trainers in there.
I do.
You go there for one trainer. I was training with Ron, but when I'm there, I'm looking at all the other trainers, and everybody is so focused. And you can tell they really want you to win. They really want you to succeed in your weight loss journey. So I love that.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Yeah. I think everybody there is encouraging, and that's one of the things that you don't really get at a lot of gyms. Like a lot of gyms are really just there for the money, and they want you to come and get a membership, and it's up to you to figure it out.
Yes.
Versus, you come in there and somebody might holler at you a little bit, but you get some pretty good results. So,
pretty good.
No, you get very good results.
The atmosphere is a lot for men and women. It's motivating to look at some of the people that are very well sculpted. That motivates you. It's motivating. Right? Look like that. If I get this down, I can get that.
No.
Yeah, I'm just saying what y'all thinking.
So you say you got some in the words, closing words?
Yeah, just a couple things. Because for one, again, this show that James and I put together, Buzzworthy, it really is about inspiring you guys to live your dreams. Everybody that we bring here, and that's why we wanted to kick it off with you, because we knew you would be super awesome, and hearing your journey would be an inspiration. But just to know that you can make it and believe it. So I just wrote a couple things down that I hope when you leave you can remember. Because what we're doing right now is living this thing called life. Life is an opportunity, benefit from it. Life is beauty, admire it. Life is a dream, realize it. Life is a challenge, meet it. Life is a duty, complete it. Life is a game, play it. Life is a promise, fulfill it. Life is sorrow sometimes, overcome it. Life is a song, sing it. Life is a struggle sometimes, accept it. Life is an adventure, dare it. Life is luck, make it. And life is too precious, so do not destroy it. Life is life, fight for it, because that's all you got.
I did not write anything down.
I can't even remember what you said.
I just want to say,
Call me.
I just want to say once again, I just want to say thank you to everybody. This show is unscripted for a purpose. I think that a lot of shows are cookie cut and they do a lot of the same things. And we wanted to be innovative and we wanted to do something different. And we wanted to celebrate people in the way that we feel like we want to be celebrated. And he doesn't look for the accolades, and this is not what he's looking for, but I know it feels good to him to know that people are really paying attention and that they really care about what it is that he's doing, and they want to see him succeed just as much as they want to succeed. And he's the same way. He wants to see all of us succeed just as much as he's succeeding. So I thank him for coming onto the show and for always being open and responsive and willing to do stuff. And he's done the cover of my magazine, and he's been on my social media platforms, and we've done lives together, and I've gone out and covered the plays, and now he's here, and that obviously will continue. But I'm grateful to him. I'm grateful to Reese. I'm grateful to all of you. And those are kind of my closing words. I thank my family. My son is back here. My nephews are back here. My mother is back here. My best buddy is over here. And my sister is out here.
Your best buddy look cold.
Reason, best buddy, I'm with you.
Tim!
Buddy. Tim, did you hear him? Tim, go. Tim, sleep. Tim, wake up.
And I have, like, I'm really grateful because I realized that I have a full village that's behind me, helping me make a lot of this stuff happen. So I'm grateful to everybody. So thank you all for coming out. We will be doing more. We're not going to announce our next guest yet because we still have to confirm some things, but we do have somebody set for next month. So right now we're going to do these probably once a month until, number one, we build the audience and we transition to one of the larger theaters, and then we can invite more people and that sort of thing. But a lot of the basic stuff is kind of etched in stone already. So it's going to be a lot easier to put shows together moving forward. So we will have one coming, if not at the end of July, maybe like the first week of August. But stay tuned for that. And anything else?
I just definitely want to thank my family, which is my mommy. Thank you for traveling here, mommy. I love you. And my kids, I don't know, I think they're working, but all of you guys are my family, and I love and appreciate everybody coming, because I know it's Juneteenth, and we didn't think that through, but that's okay, because we sold out so quick, but then there's 1,000 events going on. And so I know you have other things to do, and I appreciate you coming out and supporting Philly. and supporting us, and just look out for Buzzworthy. We take suggestions, anything y'all have, get with us, let us know any ideas, and I just appreciate you guys.
Me too.
Live your best life. Live your best life. Live out loud. Tim, they said, turn here. We done now, Tim.
We did it already. I wanted to make it a point. First of all, I want to shout out Shonda, who's standing in the back with the bag back there.
Shonda.
Shonda set us up. And
We couldn't have did this without Shonda. Thank you, Shonda, man. I love my sister.
Shonda blew up. She did an amazing job. She did this.
All the decoration.
But I wanted to make it a point to have Tim come down and talk a little bit about the village, which, obviously is where we're located at now. But there's a lot that's going to be going on here at this facility. And Tim is best to speak on that.
I start off with one question. Are you comfortable? I was instructed to turn on the air conditioner. I told a certain person, I said, if I turn the air conditioner on, you're going to freeze.
He told me.
No, it's not going to be that way. Yes, it is. This place, look at all these shivering. They get all close together like, oh, we're bonding now. But we want to say this too. We want to thank you for being here, Buzzworthy, for coming out to be a part of this. This facility, we're calling this New Black Wall Street. And the reason being, you're going to see a lot of things happening. We have 5 theaters here. We're going to be having plays. We're going to have music. You name it is going to be here. And we call it Black Wall Street because it's a hall on the other side that we're going to put Tulsa on. And, how many of you remember Tulsa? 1921, May 31st, June 1st, how they burned out all these black folks. We have an opportunity. Now that was doing Jim Crow. If they can do it then, we can do it now. The only thing we're saying is let's work together to make that happen. I'm representing the village right now on Larry's stead because his wife made sure he got out of here today and had some fun a little bit. Now he has to push me out because I'm here all the time. And all this wall, I made sure this was done last night so you guys can come in here and relax and enjoy yourself. So what we're saying is it takes a village to raise a child. And this belongs to you. Now, we can keep it this way by us working together. So we want to keep it clean. We want to keep it modernized. And believe me, those other theaters, when they're done, we already have people already slated to come in and do some concerts. We're going to do some plays. We're going to make some movies because we have a theater on the other side that still has the screen. So we're going to be doing movies here for those who are movie makers. We want you to come and do your premiere here. You don't have to look anyplace. You can come here. We're going to be doing hats. We have a place to do hats and t-shirts. We have a computer set up. Everything you're looking for is in this facility. Everything. Buzzworthy is just the beginning, and we want to see it back more and more and more. All of you come back. And we will remember to turn the air down for it. Thank you. Turn the what?
I'm telling you, he told me that when he turned it on, they were gonna want to turn it off in 5 minutes. But I said, but if you don't turn it on, they're gonna be hot, and that's gonna be the talk of the town. And it was hot and musty and smelly and everything. So I said, we're not gonna deal with that. We're just gonna let them get cold.
Please tell everybody about it. Tell them about the Village of Performing Arts and Cultural Center, and Truth and Vision. We have a ministry here. There's a ministry. I'm in the ministry. I've been in the ministry for 52 years. I'm an author, writer, motivational speaker. I've done a number of things, but by the grace of God. So if we want to do this, it's going to take the village. And each one of you are the village. So we want to thank you for having me come up here and take a few minutes of your time. Eventually, we'll show you the rest of the facilities as it's growing, but there's so much that we can do here. We will be doing here. And I want to look and see some of your faces. You'll be here? You'll be here? Who is we? Okay, is who? One more time, who? There you go. That's what we want.
Thank you.
Turn the air on too.
So we thank you all for being here. There will be some beverages if you would like to have some.
And the other surprise is that we had cakes made. So we definitely have one with our logo, but we got one with your face all over. So we get ready to have this cake out in the lobby.
It was gonna work out.
Nobody cut my face.
Cut around the face.
My face. Can I take my face home? All right. Is that me?
You know what we'll do? Because everybody may not, we cut Buzzworthy. And then we can leave the other one alone until you feel like you need to touch it. But the point is, cake for this.
And then I want to also shout out Stacy and Ryan for coming in and
Yes.
definitely stand up and over there, y'all. They came and did the media, they did the red carpet interviews. And
while we're shouting them out, I definitely want to say something about Decisive again. We also had the King Teeth Network here, and they did an amazing job. I'm looking all over for you, and you're standing right here in my face, bro. I appreciate you guys coming out. I did a media event 2 weeks ago, and I met them there, and I was telling them the vision, and instantly they said, "Oh, we come," and they are here. So I appreciate them as well. And we had so many people that came out and that really helped us with the production. My videographer here right in the middle, he actually filmed all of this. So we are actually sending tonight's episode to a couple of networks, streaming networks. And we kind of have that.
So y'all on TV, just tell you.
So this was filmed, and there's some opportunities coming up. So that ain't no point now, man.
And definitely,
They saw you throwing back that prime rib. They don't.
It's all good.
definitely we got to shout out the DJ. We're kicking off the show. DJ, you guys see, y'all can find him all over Cleveland. He's would you like to tell them where they can find you? Besides the touch.
Besides the Touch of Italy.
Right.
Yeah, I'm that DJ to Touch of Italy. You can find me on IG at DJ Jack_C, both of them. Yeah. Fridays at Bedford, Saturdays at Shaker when I got a gig. Also you can find me on Twitter at DJ Jack C216. You can find me on Facebook at Jackie L. Cunningham, DJ Jack C. And just all around here. I'm the DJ for the Warrenville Summer Fest. I do that for Warrenville every year. That's coming up on August 20th. Can I shout out me? Yeah. So I don't know I know this is Gemini season, but I'm a Leo. Any Leos up in here?
Right here.
Okay. So I got this big Leo badge throwing me and some more fellas on August 20th also. If you go to my pages and what have you, I can have it. I'll have it published and everything. And just one more fun fact. I don't know if you guys actually saw the viral videos of the old guys doing the camel walk step. Yeah. That's my video. Yeah, those are my brothers. That's what I DJ'd 2 weeks ago at the ball. I'm a noble, I'm a shrine. That's what we do. And never thought that it'd get viral. I mean, you got people like Mike Epps, you got everybody just commenting too short. So I played 2 short songs you had. So just know when y'all see it, that's your boy. All right. Thank you, Buzzworthy. Thank you, Philly. Thank you. Go help me out with this.
Yeah.
Got you.
Any final words, man, before we go?
Listen, I was at the Dawson Foundation one day, and I was speaking, and I said this because they asked me a question of how do I feel about people who say they need to leave Cleveland in order to make it, or they need to leave Cleveland in order to be successful. I said, if you flip that mindset and say, I need to be the attraction that Cleveland needs, then they'll stay. So you don't have to leave to be successful. You can be successful here and bring people from there to see you. So be the attraction that your city needs. Don't think that you have to leave to be successful. You can be successful where you're at, and wherever you're at, you can be successful. It's just a mindset. So be the attraction that your city needs.
Everybody get a hand with the film.
So yeah, thank you guys. We really appreciate it. Once again, we will have cake out in the lobby in a couple minutes, and we'll see you all out there.
Don't touch.
Buzzworthy, baby.
On my mind. Ooh, I got real problems just like you.
There's a saving distance. Everyone got to set up outside.